Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I'll share my work experience as an interior designer while I go back to countryside. Hey everyone, thank you for coming back to my channel again. If you're new here, my name is Mia and I am an interior designer with architecture emphasis who is passionate in creating sustainable space without compromising on aesthetics and quality of our lives. Since the beginning of 2021, I've started to share my journey of becoming a great interior designer of our future, but also the main reason was to motivate and inspire each other in what can be quite lonely and uninspiring time working from home in pandemic. In this video, I would like to share my journey from when I was a student, as well as working experiences in internship up until now, which you'll discover over 4 episodes. This is really not look how amazing my experience is, isn't it great kind of video at all? But I wanted to share so that hopefully this will be some inspiration to current students and aspiring designers like me. So over the 4 episodes, I will basically tell my experience following my CV, which will start from my experience of summer school in Amazon rainforest, moving on to internship in Tokyo, then my first job as a junior interior designer in workplace design, and my most recent position as interior design assistant in the world's iconic architecture firm. Each episode will cover each one of my experience and would like to talk things like how I applied to how I got in, what was my experience like, and maybe reason for leaving as well. Now in this first episode, it is going to be about AA summer school in Amazon rainforest in Brazil that I participated when I was in first year. I traveled all the way to the other side of the world, all by myself. I really hope you enjoy!
Teve a enchente de 2012, né? Foi muito grande, foi a maior de todas que já teve aqui. Então, se a minha casa foi pro fundo, eu tive que sair de dentro, né?
Cada ano a gente sente que está ficando mais quente e a gente sente também as plantas, os cajueiros que davam bastante cajus bonitos, agora eles não estão como era antes.
Uns 2 anos, eu acho. Adoeceu meus 2 filhos e o meu genro. Tudo com a dengue.
Hey everyone, thank you for watching this video. I'm actually no longer in the countryside, I'm back in Copenhagen. But let me continue this video as I really wanted to show my experience from summer AA school in Brazil. I've made a video, so while I put it on, maybe I can comment as we go along the video. Hope that sounds good. So let's start. So it was 10 days summer school in rainforest in the Amazon in Brazil, and we weren't allowed to bring any. We were allowed to bring mobile phone, but we didn't have any internet for 10 days. So it was kind of like an isolation from a normal life, really. This was the place that we studied for 10 days. So every day we had lectures about either biomimicry or architecture in general, or there were 3 really good architects as a course leader. So these 3 designers have introduced us to their project, and also like introduction to floating architecture and stuff like that. And I think the half of the day we had the lectures, and the other half of the day we were always kind of exploring the local area with this boat. And it was just a mind-blowing experience every day that we got to experience this. We were visiting local architecture and local community, and also obviously in the jungle to explore different species, plants, trees and animals, really like researching. And then I think in the middle of the course, after like 3-4 days, we started to experiment with the floating structure. So we were given this material to create what could be like a floating structure for our future design, and really exploring individually. And we tested in this Amazon water on top of it to see whether the structure floated or not. And yeah, like it was just really great experience in general. So our course were, I think we had 11 students, including me, and 3 tutors, course leaders, who were all individual, a great successful architect. We visited the local community and we studied about the architecture and how they're building their houses using their local materials and timbers, and everything is handmade. And also this was one of the really incredible structure that they've made this floating architecture locally. Everything they have in this jungle. And we also visited a local supermarket, which was really tiny, but they sold like little snacks and like juice and soda and beers. And one of the days we explored the floating plants in Amazon to really study and get inspiration for the floating structure for inhabitants. This is where we lived for 10 days, so we individually got 1 room, shared room with 2 person, and on the other side, like we were also like swimming in Amazon, which was also a bit scary because they told us that there were piranhas in the water, but local people really didn't care and they were just jumping in, so we also did swim in the water. I was scared all the time. And the most amazing time was the sunset, and it was so beautiful. I think it's one of the most beautiful sun I've ever seen in Amazon. And yeah, we've also experienced one of the days being pouring. And finally, in the last 4 days or 5 days, we started to look into the competition, which was about proposing the future structure for the floating architecture for the local community to really tackle in the situation of rising water. So all the land will be disappeared, so maybe the floating structure is the next kind of strategy and the solution for our future living. And we presented this, so we worked in a team with all of our students who participated in this course, and we came up with a design together, and we put some presentation sheets together, drawings together, and all of that. And at the end, we're presented to the community, to the local people, and yeah, finally we had a party, and I think it was the last day, and we had a really fun time with the local people, and all the kids were adorable. And yeah, that's how my experience was. So basically, by participating in this course, it has opened my mind, my eyes, like so much to the world and the potential that I could become as an interior designer. And this course has really offered me in many dimensions, like so much inspiration about nature, you know, just opened the horizon on so many topics within interior design and architecture. And I think this was also the starting point for me to really get into more architectural side rather than just interior like furnitures and textures, but I was more getting into like structural concepts, and also really thinking about what is the reason why I want to design interior for people. And I think by participating in this course, it has really taught me about the importance of thinking about the future, and global warming and the climate change was really important subject for me. And learning from the local people and how they've struggled throughout the year, where when I'm in London or when I'm in Tokyo, I wouldn't have even known that's the people's lifestyle in some countries. And that's all because of the climate change and the unsustainable product we are consuming, and you know, the transport that we are using, and all that kind of thing has made me to rethink about our design to better design spaces better. I would say the main value that I got out of it, that I became really passionate about sustainability, and I think it became clearer for me as a designer what I wanted to focus on in my career. But also there were some other things that I've got value from. So like, it was the first time I was introduced to Rhino and Grasshopper, where I didn't know how to use it, but all the other students who joined the course knew it, so I could kind of learn from them. And also about like biomimicry, and biomimicry is about, you know, getting inspiration from the natural inhabitants and like plants and trees and animals, to take inspiration and converting that mythology and, you know, the biology into architecture. So that was something that I've learned as well before I moved on to second year. And most valuable thing was that I gained so many of good friends, and all the people I've met there is like once in a life opportunity that I got to meet people from Brazil, and I became friends with from like Philippines that I still keep in touch with. And I think that's the most valuable thing that I am so like happy that I have been to that course, because now I can still contact them to get inspiration, and we're connected on social media, and I can also visit them as a holiday, and it's just, you know, so much more inspiration, and your world gets bigger by participating in this kind of course. And I think it's so crucial for students to not just only do internship, but also like participating in this kind of workshop that you actually get to make things and experience the local lifestyle and really expand your comfort zone outside of your normal life is really important, I think. And it makes you it makes you an interesting person, I think. And I have definitely got inspired from this experience to move on to my second year, that I was feeling a little bit more like a designer in second year, and I was more aware of what kind of project I wanted to have in my portfolio. So every time the course leader gave us some brief, I would always think about the sustainability and how I would approach the interior project, thinking about the climate change and thinking about what material to source, and all that kind of stuff has been in my mind already because I participated this course in first year. And also looking back now, this project is definitely something that I had on my portfolio to show it when I did my internship in second year, and also when I graduated, when I got the first job, it was on my portfolio. And most recently, when I presented my portfolio to BIG, that was also some topic that I could talk about in my interview, and they were really fascinated by. And you know, it's just some different experience that not many people have. So I think just, you know, let yourself experience these kind of things. Like, don't be afraid to try new things and go to new country. Like, I traveled all by myself to Brazil, and I didn't know anyone apart from this tutor who introduced me to this course. And I was the only one from London, first of all, but also the only Japanese in the course. And most of the students who were in the group were from Brazil, actually. And one really good friend that I made, he was from Philippines, and we still keep in touch. And yeah, it's just a really nice experience, and I really want you guys to also like feel open about experiencing these workshops. And you can always, you know, search on AA website, and they always have this interesting course in every kind of destination of the world. They also have in Japan, as well as in I think in Venice and in Asia, in America. So if you don't have any plans in the summer, I think this is something that you should definitely look into. But thank you so much for watching my video, and hopefully next video is I'm going to talk about my experience from internship in Tokyo. So I hope you guys will join that video too. I'll see you guys in the next video. See you!